Good morning everyone and welcome to a new video on the channel. It is Saturday the 27th of January 2024 and today we're off back to International Stadium. It is Gateshead versus Barnet in the National League. So here I'm in Gateshead and going into this afternoon's game, Barnet are currently in third place in the National League table, and I think the aim for them now will be just to make sure that they stay in either second or third place and get that all-important bye into the playoff semi-final, because let's face it, for everyone that isn't Chesterfield, the title's gone now. Nobody's catching a team that's just that good, I think all in all still you'd have to say a very good season from Barnet so far. Definite progress on what they did last season, which was also quite a good year for them. I think obviously when we played them earlier in the season, when we won 2-0 at their place, I think, in my personal opinion, that was our best performance of this season as well. They were maybe off form a little bit at that time, but they've been getting some results in midweek. They went to Oldham and got beat 2-0, but then again, as I alluded to before Christmas when we played Oldham, I did think that they had another gear to go into, and I think we're maybe starting to see signs of that now. So that was always going to be a tough game for them, but they'll be coming up here looking to bounce back, and they'll maybe see it as they owe us one a little bit, given what's happened the last few times that we've played them. But speaking of Gateshead, we've now dropped down to 10th in the National League table. Of course, we're due to be playing Solihull Moors at home in midweek, but the weather got the better of that one. Maybe the fact that Oldham have been up to Greater Manchester this week, and then I've obviously had Barnet have been up to Greater Manchester this week, and have obviously had to go back south, come back north. Hopefully that could be something that works in our favour, but then again, it doesn't always work like that. You think the amount of travelling we do over the course of a season, and we still managed to get like a couple of consecutive decent results and what have you. It's going to be a tricky game this afternoon, but our forward line has been boosted somewhat by the arrival of Dajuan Brown. I do apologise if I've said that wrong, but he's arrived on loan from Derby County until the end of the season. He's made a couple of appearances on the bench for them. He's not really got on the pitch for the first team, but one thing we can say is that under 21 level, under 18 level, he has been very, very prolific, and if he can bring that confidence to us, that could be something that could be a massive help. I mean, yes, in my honest opinion, Dinanga's performances of late, since Mike left, haven't been up to the standards that we'd maybe seen from him under Mike, but I think if he's got that bit of help up top now, that could be something that really helps him. So and as well, you've got to remember, we have got a lot of players that are still new and looking to bed into the system. I think when we've got the likes of Kane Adom as well, who's evidently not afraid to take shots on, I think that could be something that could help Dinanga in a sense that if Adom's initial shots don't go in, then Dinanga's probably going to be someone that can be there to follow up. It's going to be an interesting game this afternoon. Obviously, we're not in good form just now, but I've watched Gateshead long enough to know what typical Gateshead is, and it would be very typical Gateshead break this barren run against a side that are currently third in the table. So we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, it's a pretty hectic schedule coming up. We've got some big games, we've got some long journeys. We've obviously got to factor in the FA Trophy as well. So yeah, everyone's got the part to play. But luckily, like the injury front and what have you is starting to clear itself up a little bit. And obviously today, the Regan Booty is suspended following his red card at Dorking last week, but we'll just have to see how today goes above all else. But let's head on down to the International Stadium and find out how it all unfolds.
So the teams are warming up. Barnet getting ready just here. I'm not entirely sure what colours they're going to be in this afternoon. Of course, they would play in like an orange and black home strip. Might be in that, they might not. They'll obviously find out in due course. And Gateshead are getting ready over there, and we can say pretty confidently that we will be in our white and black home strip this afternoon. Anyway, I will see you when the players are coming out of the tunnel and ready to start the match.
Half-time Gateshead 0, Barnet 1. I probably shouldn't say this because obviously you have to look for everything through rose-tinted glasses these days, but it's absolutely diabolical. We have not even competed. I mean, it's that sole fact alone that hurts me like more than the actual scoreline ever could. The fact that we're just simply not laid a glove on them, we look totally out of our depth. It's just all been absolutely pathetic, to tell you the truth. I just can't believe how quickly like the club from top to bottom has just absolutely deteriorated. It's just absolutely terrible on the pitch. We just look at total 6s and 7s every game. We just can't compete just now. There's absolutely no match day experience at this place. It's just like you come here, you watch a game, you go home. It's non-league without minus everything that you love about non-league, really, innit? It's just rubbish at the minute. I mean, the pitch again is an absolute cabbage patch. It's cutting up far too easily. There's nothing at all good I can say about this. Way too light up front, messing about way too much at the back. Just made it far too easy for Barnet, who should have been like 3-0 in like 10 minutes or something like that. Just not good enough.
Does he ever score goals that aren't ridiculous? Come on. Got away with that. 8 minutes of added time at the end of this game. Keepers up. Stay. Stay. Full-time Gateshead 2, Barnet 1. Another episode of Dan Has a Half-Time Howler. I mean, if I'm telling the absolute truth, my point about the lack of matchday experience and all that still does count, but all credit to the players in the second half for really like going out there and turning it around. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think even throughout the second half we rode our luck like big time today really, but sometimes you need to do that, especially like when you are like genuinely in the middle of fighting for something, and as well when we've not won for like since before Christmas. I think maybe when things are happening like Barnet hitting the post from like a couple of yards out towards the end of the game and what have you, all those missed chances in the opening stages, maybe look at things like that and think, you know what, maybe it is going to be your day. So yeah, it took a moment of magic to get us going, and by God, Luke Cannon once again, does that bloke ever not score a goal that's absolutely insane? Just the technique and everything, like just never gave up on it and then just absolutely lashed it past the goalkeeper, who had absolutely no chance. I don't think many goalkeepers would have saved it, in all fairness. Then I think we've obviously then made a couple of substitutions. I know it's easy to say this when obviously he scored the winning goal and what have you, but for me, Kane Adom simply has to start at Southend next week, because I think he brought something to our attack today that we maybe haven't seen for quite a number of weeks, since Wern and all that lot left. I think what he brought is obviously he ran it. He was more than willing to run at defenders, draw them in, which in turn is something that will allow the rest of the forward line, so your Denangas, your Hannants, if we're playing a bit more advanced, Werman, players like that, the chance to run forward themselves and get themselves into positions in the event of either him squaring it or the goalkeeper only parrying it or hitting the post and being there for the rebound. So that is maybe a trick we've been missing for some time, and I know it's early days for him and it is only 2 appearances from the bench, but the signs from him are definitely promising, and you can see why Welling was so disappointed to lose him. But he could be one of those that, given the football food chain and what have you, that we might just have to enjoy while we've got him. You know what I mean? So yeah, well done to him, and as I say, well done to the rest of the players as well. I personally thought that Callum Whelan had his best game in a Gateshead shirt today. I thought he read the game really well. He's always in like the right place to make the blocks and what have you, and like get us back in possession and get us back moving again. So yeah, I think he's maybe shown just how much we maybe missed him while he was out. And look, we've got players still to come back. I think Greg Ollie's slowly but surely getting there, same with Robbie Tinkler. Ed Francis is probably only a couple of weeks off then as well. Like, there's maybe a couple of more squad players you'd maybe have to say that are still to come back in. So slowly but surely, as I say, we are getting there, and as I alluded to before the game, it is a prime example of typical Gateshead, because we've won when maybe people weren't expecting us to, and we've stopped a bit of a barren run of form against a top 3 side. But I think it maybe has to be said that was probably a decent game to watch for a neutral stay. Obviously Barnet were never going to be one of those that were just going to come and park the bus. Like, they kept on creating chances throughout the game, tried to put us to bed in the first half, tried to rescue it towards the end, and I'm not going to lie, it does feel kind of nice to be someone's bogey team, because we've got enough of our own of those. You think Halifax, Bromley, teams like that who just always seems to have our number. It's nice to be someone else's bogey team. But that is that for this video, and I'll be back on Tuesday night, and
and for the first time in a while, it is back to Gisborough Town as they take on Scarborough Athletic in the quarter-final of the North Riding Senior Cup. So it's going to be a really exciting night at the KGV. It'll be nice to see Gisborough again. It's always nice to see Scarborough as well. So until then, take care. Cheers for watching. See you later.